I made a post about that the death of Abel was not the first recorded in the scriptures. A lot of people thought I was actually joking when I said what I said, but I'm here to make a clear and straight statement on the fact of what I have said. Welcome everybody to my YouTube channel. We'll be discussing scriptures, epignosis of the truth. So I welcome you once again to my YouTube channel. All right, I'm here to clarify that post I made. So when I said that the death of Abel was not the first that was recorded in the scriptures, this is what I meant. Abel and Cain had their issues, and for the first time, the death of a human being was recorded. So for the people who think that I don't know what I was saying, I never said the death of a human being was not the first. I never said that. Yes, the death of a human being was Abel. But the first death that was recorded was not Abel. Why do we think that God always referred to the Messiah as the Lamb of God, the sacrificial Lamb? Why do we always think that God always used that word, the Lamb of God that was slain, the sacrificial Lamb? And this is because something was sacrificed before the death of Abel. Repeatedly, God used the sacrificial lamb. When Abel was unalived by his brother, that was the first death, human death, that was recorded. But it wasn't the first death that was recorded. God always calls the Messiah the Lamb of God, the Lamb of God. Have we not sat down to think about why does God call the Messiah the Lamb of God? That's for a reason. It's for a reason, for a particular reason. And I'm here to explain that reason. In Genesis 3:21, that was where the first death was recorded. And the death that was recorded was a sacrifice God made to cover the shame of Adam and Eve. Remember, God told them that He has created two trees in the midst of the garden. And one of them, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they are not to eat of it. That upon the day they eat of it, they will surely die. That they will surely be unalived. God was specific about it. And when Adam and Eve disobeyed and ate of that tree, immediately they ate of that tree, their eyes were opened. Knowledge came upon them. Death came upon them. Knowledge came upon them, and the consequences of that knowledge came upon them. And God, when God came down to meet with them and found out they already ate of the tree, and they have brought upon themselves the wrath of God upon them, God went ahead and did something out of love. Out of love. And that is the sacrifice God made to cover their shame. In Genesis 3:21, God went ahead and made a sacrifice of an animal, skinned the animal and used the skin of the animal to clothe Adam and Eve. That was the first death that was recorded. God clothed Adam and Eve with the skin of an animal. And before you skin an animal, you must unalive that animal. So that was the first death that was recorded in the scriptures. It was a huge sacrifice God made to cover their shame. Because they were naked. They used leaf to make dresses for themselves, to cover themselves. But God now sacrificed an animal to clothe them. That's why I said the first death that was recorded in scriptures was not the death of Abel. It was the death of the animal that was sacrificed. And there are scriptures that back up the fact that it was a lamb. I don't know if a lot of people know about the book of Melchizedek. The book of Melchizedek, God Melchizedek also wrote some scriptures down. And it was clear in the book of Melchizedek that it was a lamb that God sacrificed and clothed Adam and Eve. So that's why I said the first death that was recorded in the scriptures was not the death of Abel. It was the sacrifice God made to clothe Adam and Eve in the scriptures.